Brandon Alsler here, play-by-play for the Abbey Canucks. You got it locked on the line change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast.
What's up, Canucks Nation? Welcome back to the Line Change, and if you're new, welcome to the Line Change. Summer is coming, and for the Vancouver Canucks, that means it's decision time. We've got a list of players who are eligible for extensions and a fan base hungry for a winner. Who's a must-sign and who is a hard pass? I'm going through every single name on the list to find out who stays and who goes. This is, of course, the ultimate Canucks extension guide. Let's get into it. This is brought to us by our friends over at Canucks Army. Actually, matter of fact, it is brought to us by Stephan Roget. We've covered a lot of his articles, and I thought this was a very great piece to go over. And as I mentioned, we're talking about Canucks who are eligible for contract extensions this summer, and, well, who should get them? So let's go ahead and take a look at this list. Quite the list we got here. As I mentioned, this article is written by Stephan Roget. He writes some great stuff over on Canucks Army, and he goes on to say for a while there, contract extensions in the 2026 offseason were the number one topic of discussion in Canuckland. But then Quinn Hughes, the player everyone was most concerned about re-signing, was traded to the Minnesota Wild long before he became eligible to agree to a new contract, and so the topic has kind of fallen by the wayside. But Hughes was never the only Canuck up for extension. In fact, the very same trade that shipped him out of town brought in a couple more. In this article, we're going to take a look at all the various Canucks who are either already eligible for contract extensions by being in the final year of their current contracts, or who become eligible as of July 1st by entering the final year of their current contracts on that date, and mention whether or not we think the Canucks should be entering into such negotiations with them this summer. We're going to start off by looking at the pending UFAs. These players are all in the final year of their current contract and will become unrestricted free agents as of July 1st, 2026, without a contract extension. Any of them could sign an extension at any point here, and most have been eligible to do so since July 1st of 2025. First up, we have, of course, Teddy Blueger. Whether or not the Canucks should extend him this summer is a maybe, at least according to Stephan Roget, and it all depends on terms. That's the conclusion we came to when we wrote about this topic in the wake of Blueger not being traded at the 2026 trade deadline. The idea is that Blueger brings veteran stability at a vital center position, and if the Canucks are going to field an even younger forward group next year, that experience has value, of course. That said, with centers at a premium around the league, it's quite possible that Blueger gets other, better, and longer offers elsewhere. The Canucks should make an offer, but a limited one, and should probably stick to that. Obviously, we've mentioned on this channel that if he's willing to maybe take a pay cut and not go past $3 million per season on a maybe 1 to 2 year deal, I would absolutely offer that to him. And if he's willing to accept it, then cool. But if he wants more than that, then unfortunately, you're going to have to let him walk. Very similar to how Pius Suter walked. But Blueger has made it known that he does want to stay here. But the question is, if he's willing to, maybe stay on the same salary that he's on currently, maybe a slight increase, I think the Canucks can easily do that. But I guess we will just have to wait and find out on that part. Next up, we have Guillaume Brisebois. As far as a contract extension this summer, Stephan Roget says, yes, of course, the true longest tenured Canuck should be rewarded for his loyalty if he still wants to stick around. Brisebois' NHL days are probably largely behind him, but keeping him on board as a veteran leader down on the farm right from now until his retirement seems like the right thing to do, as long as injuries haven't brought him to that point already. Next up, we have Curtis Douglas. This is a yes, probably. Douglas is a Group 6 UFA, meaning he is hitting free agency a little earlier than most due to limited NHL minutes thus far in his career. The Canucks are going to need some muscle next season, and that's what they picked up Douglas for in the first place. They've yet to see much from him, but they've seen enough to keep him on at league minimum. Next up, we have Derek Forbort. As far as extending him this summer, after spending virtually this entire season on the shelf with an injury that doesn't seem to be getting much better, Forbort's career is probably at a close. it would be nice to see the Canucks offer him some sort of off-ice role in recognition of his contributions. However, next up, we have Evander Kane, and this one is a pretty easy one to do, and it's a no, heck no even. The Canucks can achieve some serious addition through subtraction by just letting Kane go this summer, and I think a lot of us Canuck fans fully agree on this one. Next up, we have Joe Labate, and of course, it's why not when it comes to offering him an extension this summer. Labate had a terrific training camp this year and provides size, physicality, and experience down on the farm for easy recall if things ever get rough up at the NHL level. Next up, we have Jiri Patera. And this one is a no, according to Stephan Roget. The Canucks might need to sign another goaltender if they have to move on from one of Kevin Lankinen or Nikita Tolopilo this offseason, but they would likely look to sign a younger veteran with more upside instead of retreading Patera. So Patera is a no, and I have to agree with Stephan Roget on here. Patera is a no for me. Let's take a look at the pending RFAs. These players are also in the final year of their contract, but are not yet experienced enough to hit UFA status. Their rights can be retained by a qualifying offer, at which point they become restricted free agents, only able to change teams via trade or an offer sheet. First up, we have Nils Aman. We will guess that Aman will likely return to Sweden after this season. However, there's really no reason to at least make him a qualifying offer. Center depth is always valuable, and the Canucks don't have much in the way of center prospects clamoring for space on the farm as of yet. Next up, we have P.O. Joseph. This one is a maybe, but probably not. Joseph did not make much of an impact despite getting into 24 NHL games. Canucks would be better off giving NHL time to someone like Kirill Kucherayantsev than trying out Joseph again. Alternatively, they could look to sign another Joseph type, as in a older defenseman with some upside remaining, and see if that player hits a little better than Joseph did. I believe it may have been Gerald on one of our post games mentioned maybe bringing back Ian Cole. Correct me if I'm wrong on who mentioned that, but I do recall someone mentioning that we should maybe look at maybe bringing back Ian Cole as a veteran defenseman. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Next up, we have Danila Klimovich. With Klimovich on year 5 in this organization without a single NHL game, this is almost certainly the summer the Canucks and he part ways. They may qualify him all the same, but unless he really likes it in Abbotsford, chances are he's going overseas. Next up, we have Jack Thompson, the right-handed defenseman who we exchanged for Jet Wu at the deadline, has already surpassed Wu's play with the Abbotsford Canucks and is a fair bit younger to boot. There is no real reason not to qualify a player with some upside in such a scarce position. We have 3 that have been grouped together. It is Clayton Cole, Jaden Grube, and Chase Stillman. We're going to do these 3 in a batch and say that they are all players Canucks management specifically acquired via trade and thus must see something in, but are all fairly inconsequential as far as contract talks go. Let's take a look at newly eligible for extensions as of July 1st, 2026. This group of players will enter the final years of their contract as of July 1st, at which point they become eligible to sign an extension that will kick in as of the 27-28 season. Players on one-year contracts must wait until January 1st, 2027, however. The total list of such players for the Canucks includes Arshdeep Bains, Aku Koskinivuo, Kirill Kucherayantsev, Ty Mueller, Henry Ravinskis, and Ty Young. For the sake of the article length, and because none of these aforementioned players have defined themselves on the NHL roster as of yet, we're only going to focus on the big 8 for this selection. First up is Zeke Buium. Yes, as soon as possible. This offseason will be the last point at which teams can hand out 8-year contracts, and if there's anyone on this roster worthy of such a commitment, it's Buium. Show some trust in the Canucks' top current future asset now, and watch that contract gain in surplus value as it ages. Keep in mind, Buium is only 20 years old, so this contract, if he signs an 8-year deal, would go until his 28-year-old season. This is an opportunity that cannot be passed up. Getting Buium under contract for as long as possible should be the offseason's top contractual priority. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree with that, or do you guys disagree with that? Let me know in the comments. Next up, we have Filipino. Sadly, it's a no when it comes to a contract extension this summer for obvious reasons. Heedle's injuries put his entire NHL future at jeopardy, and it would be irresponsible to talk contract until that changes. We're already dealing with the whole Thatcher Demko thing, and you don't want another scenario like that with Filipino. We also have Jonathan Lekaramaki. We imagine we will get some pushback on this, but the answer is yes. Lekaramaki's return at the NHL level have been disappointing, but he's eaten the AHL alive despite dealing with frequent injury. There's a possibility for the Canucks to sign Lekaramaki to a 2 or 3 year extension now at a very low price, allowing for major upside on the contract if and when Lekaramaki ever pans out. For Lekaramaki, some guaranteed income helps give him back some security that injuries have taken away from him. It could be a win-win. Next up, we have Drew O'Connor. And this one is a probably not. O'Connor has been terrific for the Canucks to the point where we might say he has brought more value to the Canucks than Marcus Pettersson, despite O'Connor originally being the B-side to that trade. That said, O'Connor is coming off a career season and is almost certainly expecting a raise off of that. Canucks should wait to talk contract until they see what 26-27 brings, as well as what the potential trade market for him may be next year. Next up, we have Liam Ogren. This one is a definite yes from Stephan Roget, and it is also a definite yes for me as well. This one is probably priority number 2 after Bouillon, and there is a similar opportunity to bet on upside now with a longer RFA extension. Instead of a proverbial bridge, you might not want to hand Ogren a full 8-year deal, but signing him at a reasonable rate for 4 to 6 years sounds appealing. For Ogren, the Canucks have given him a lot more opportunity than his previous team. Perhaps he looks to pay that commitment back. Next up, we have DPD. This one should be relatively easy. The Canucks have identified the youngest Pettersson as a big part of their future blue line, but he's never going to have the counting stats to demand a major salary. Get him into a reasonably priced long-term contract now, and it's either fine if Pettersson stays what he is, or it blossoms into surplus value if he does develop into a true top 4 defensive presence. Next up, we have Aatu Räty. The Canucks should try to extend Räty to something cheap if they can, but we kind of doubt he would sign it. Räty's face-off abilities will ensure he has suitors all over the league for his services, so he really doesn't need to compromise, especially not after the Canucks have limited his minutes this year. Both sides probably take a wait-and-see approach here when it comes to an extension. Next up, we have Nikita Tolopilo. Regardless of what is going to happen with Tolopilo after training camp, there's really no reason to not try to get him under contract, even if the Canucks need to trade him to avoid placing him on waivers, as they did with Artur Silovs. They'd probably get better value if Tolopilo had term. That said, Tolopilo himself may want to wait and see how many starts he gets in 26-27 before he starts talking any salary. And of course, that is the end of the article. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on this. Who do you think the Canucks should sign to an extension in the summer? Let me know in the comments. Who would you like who would you like the Canucks not to extend this summer? Let me know that in the comments as well. And let's take a look at the betting odds for today, which is March 24th, 2026. Let me just bring it up. So we have a sleuth of games going on tonight. Let's take a look. Let's do the Colorado Avalanche and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Colorado Avalanche are a minus 1.5 and a plus 142 on the puck line. The Penguins are a plus 1.5 and a minus 170 on the puck line, while the Avalanche are a minus 175 on the money line, and the Penguins are a plus 145 on the money line. And of course, just a reminder, these odds and lines are subject to change. And of course, please play responsibly. On that note, big shout out and thank you to the sponsor of this video, none other than DraftKings Sportsbook, which is of course an official sports betting partner of the NHL. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. This video has been a presentation of both DraftKings Sportsbook as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, where it's every team, everywhere. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to The Line Change, and be sure to have your notifications turned on so you don't miss more in-depth analysis of your Vancouver Canucks. Once again, drop your comments down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next Line Change.